Welcome back guys. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about the React hooks. Let's start with the definition of React hooks. Hooks are a new addition in React 16.8. They let you use state and other React features without writing a class. As we know, functional component is a stateless component. Means we cannot implement the states and component lifecycle in functional components. That's why up to the previous lecture, we have used class components for writing programs. With the help of these React hooks, we can implement all the features of class components like states and lifecycle methods in functional component also. That's why we have to use React hooks in functional components. Now let's see what are the hooks that we're gonna learn in the coming lectures. Commonly used hooks. The first hook we are going to discuss is useState hook. It is similar to the setState in class component. setState is one of the method in class component which is used to manipulate the data that has defined in the state object. If you want to declare any variable in class components, we have to use the state object. In that state object only we have to declare that variable. After declaring that variable, when you want to manipulate that variable, we have to use the setState method in class component. When it comes to functional component, we have to use the useState hook. With the help of this useState hook, we can declare the variables and we can manipulate the variables. Now we will see the second hook. The second hook name is useEffect. It is similar to the component didMount method in class component. Component didMount method is a lifecycle method in class component. It will be executed automatically whenever the class component is rendered. We need not to call that component didMount method. This useEffect hook also used for the same purpose. It will be executed automatically whenever the functional component is rendered. We need not to call the useEffect function. Now we will see how to use these hooks in functional components. Working with hooks. Whenever you want to use hooks in functional component, you have to write one statement in the import. That is, in the curly braces, you have to write the hooks names. Here, if you want to use the useState hook, you have to write useState in the curly braces. If you want to use the useEffect hook, you have to write useEffect in the curly braces. If you want to use both the hooks, you just have to write useState comma useEffect in the curly braces. This import statement is mandatory when you want to use hooks in functional component. If you do not write these useState and useEffect import, it will raise the errors. So every time it's very difficult to write this useState and useEffect in the import statement. So to avoid this writing useState and useEffect in the import statement, we have one extension in the Visual Studio Code. By that extension, we will get these useState and useEffect automatically whenever you type this useState or useEffect in the code. Now I will show you the extension which is used for the auto importing statements. Open Visual Studio Code. Here you can see the Visual Studio Code is open. This is the dummy Hello World project. Now in this project I will explain the extension which are used for writing useState and useEffect hooks. So first click on these extensions and here type auto import. Auto import. If you type auto import, you can see here auto import ES6 TS.js. Click on this extension. Here you can see auto import ES6 TS, JSX and TSX. You have to install this extension in the Visual Studio Code. I have already installed this extension. Now I will show you the advantages of this extension. Here in this app.js, suppose if you want to use the hooks functionality, we have to write import React. After importing React, we have to write comma and in the curly braces, you have to write the hook name. If you want to use the useState hook, you have to write useState. Now I will show you how to avoid this writing every time in the import statement. You just remove it. And in the function, if you type the useState, it will be imported automatically with the help of that extension. I will write useState. If you press enter, here you can see the useState hook is imported automatically. If you type useEffect, the useEffect hook also will be imported automatically. I will write useEffect. I am pressing enter. Here you can see the use effect hook also imported automatically. So that's why you have to install this auto import extension. So we can avoid writing every time the import statement in the applications. I will show you the one more extension which is used for developing React applications. Remove this auto import from the statement and type simple React snippets. Simple React snippets. So click on this extension and install it. I have already installed it. Now I will show you the advantages of installing this extension. I will close it. Suppose if you want to create any new component, we will create that new file in the source folder. In this I will write the new file with the name cc.js. Here in the cc.js I want to create the class component. So if you want to write class component in this page, you just have to write cc. If you write cc and press enter, it will give the class component for us. Here you have to write just the class component name. Here I want to write the class component name as cc. And above this class component we have to write the import statement. That's it. Import React from, in the single colons you have to write React. And after importing React we have to write the component also. Component. That's it. The class component is created successfully. If you want to create the functional component, instead of cc you just have to write rsf. rsf. It will create the entire functional component snippet. Here you can see we got the functional component snippet, including the import React statement. So with the help of these two extensions, we can speed up the development process while developing the React applications. So in the next video, we are going to create our first hook, which is called as useState hook. Thank you.